Hello, my name is Corey Carreri, and this is the progress report for the Reseller Web Extension project for the week of October 22nd, 2023. Excuse me. So to begin, the biggest changes that were made this week include the overall design of the web extension itself and the table and how it looks. As we discussed last week, the web scraping process is being dismissed due to terms of service reasons and just overall ethical reasons. We don't want to cause any issues with any platform whatsoever. So instead, we've moved to a link type look. So as you can see, we'll get into the details of this, but most of this has stayed the same. But instead of actually providing the data right in front of the user's face, it's going to take them to the link needed to find that information quickly. Now, it's still effective because some of this information was very difficult to find from the jump, specifically with eBay. Mercari's is a little bit more intuitive and user-friendly, but eBay sometimes likes to hide where things are located. So I was able to get in all of the links for eBay and for Mercari, but for Etsy, I was not able to get in any links yet, just because you actually have to create a store to access that information. I don't have an Etsy store currently, so I don't have access to that information or access to those links that would provide that information. So I need to either find somebody who does have an Etsy store so they can provide me the links, or find another workaround so that I can gather those links. As you can see, I added a little note to to let the user know to do Control+Click to follow the link rather than just clicking it, because as I've tried many times, just clicking it doesn't really do anything. You actually have to hit Control and click. I will show you. So for eBay, for example, this should take me directly to my eBay account and show my sales. I'm not going to go into this at too much in depth, but it does show it here for the last 30 days, and the one I clicked on was for the last 30 days, sales last 30 days here. So as you can see, the sales are here, and this is my actual account, but I just wanted to show that this is what it looks like here. And same thing for Mercari as well. Like I said, those links are actually working and should be accessible at this point. I made a note in the extension at the top, just giving a brief description of what it is and noting to ensure that the user is signed into their reseller account before accessing the links. If they're not, I mean, all it's going to do is ask them to log in, but it may not redirect them correctly. So I wanted to make a note to ensure that hopefully the user is logged into their account, and then ideally, if they're logged into their account and they're like, okay, I need to see what my shipping costs have been, and then they can just Control-Click and follow it there for whether it's eBay, Etsy, or Mercari. The good thing about this as well is it's very easy to add additional links if we needed to. So for example, another very popular reselling website is Amazon. So we could always add Amazon to this list of links as well. And the possibilities are really just endless at that point. You can really add any or we can really add any link to any reselling platform and provide that information for a user. The only other difference on here is I added another cell for total losses, just as like a combination of shipping and returns and refunds. But other than that, everything else has stayed the same. And this is pretty much the final look of how the dashboard is going to look. Again, I was very keen on making sure this doesn't scroll side to side, aka left to right. I didn't want it originally to scroll up and down. I'd rather it just be one big view, but I was unable to accomplish that. So I think scrolling up and down is totally fine. It still shows most of the information. As I was saying, the only other part I may add to this is maybe a note at the bottom with redirects to the documentation that I'm going to create for each platform. So it'll say something along the lines of documentation for eBay use, and then it'll have the document there, documentation for Etsy use, and it'll have it there. That way it just explains a little bit of what accessing the links does and how each specific platform differs. So for example, how eBay differs from Etsy when it comes to accessing these links, and same for Mercari. So for example, for the sales all time, there is no easy way to have an all time access to as much data to all of the data that you have or that a seller would have for eBay. So really the only thing to do is request a report and that was very difficult to find for eBay. But for Mercari, it is very easy, and it does show you in the page where your all-time data. As you can see here, you can easily change this for all time, last year, last 30 days, and it's all right here. But yeah, that's the only other addition for this. The next steps for the project include beginning the cross-compatibility testing for other web browsers, aka Mozilla Firefox and Microsoft Edge. And then after that, or probably in line with that, is also creating the user documentation so that users have that information available to them. And then I believe that is it. Maybe just some testing afterwards, having somebody who does have a reseller account use this and provide feedback, the pros, cons, what they like, what they don't like, and making small necessary adjustments from there. I plan to continue to use this even after this project is done, so there will definitely be more updates as time goes along. But just for the sake of the project, obviously I don't want to take too much time, so just want to make sure, like I said, gather the rest of the Etsy links first. Then once that's complete, begin the cross-compatibility testing across web browsers, which through my initial research seems like it shouldn't take too long. Probably wouldn't be complete next week, but maybe the week after that it should be done. It just depends on if I run into any issues, and that's all documented in my progress report as well. And then also completing the user documentation and then getting to the user training at that point. Thanks.